Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Story. In this episode, we're not going to sit down at all. In fact, we have a lot to do. We live over here, and way down here, we identified a spot that I would like to call home. This spot's going to need a lot of work. We need to kill some bears over here. We need to take most of our belongings from here and run them down. And of course, we need to build our house. I have the goal of actually building this house today. It's going to involve a lot of monotonous collection of things, so there's going to be plenty of opportunity to lapse right through that. And so I'm optimistic that we'll be able to get it done, although it may end up being a 2-episode endeavor. Last episode, we got all of this hay, and apparently I didn't even make it all. And you can see I even left some behind. And what we're going to need a lot of is we're going to need a lot more dirt, and we're going to need a lot more clay. You can see we have some clay here, but this isn't going to be enough. I'd like to get maybe 6 stacks of clay, I think would be good. So for that, we are going to need a few more shovels. Uh-oh. I see we're running into a storage problem. What do I have for sticks? Where did I put my sticks is a better question. Okay. I was going to say, let's get these, what are they called? Spears out of, this tool rack. Let's get these spears out of this storage vessel. There's the word I couldn't think of. And that's going to free up some space. Don't mind that the spears are just conveniently clipping through this block, which we're apparently never going to use. So why don't we just go put you right there, since that seems to be a more appropriate spot, and that way we don't have anything clipping. Where can I put my bony soil? There you go over here. We'll put the boat over here as well, as well as some of these extra bits and bobs. I don't need this extra fire starter or this hand basket, although actually with the hand basket I can, and I just recently learned this, you can use a knife to cut it back for some cattails, so I will do that with it. Fire starter I definitely don't need though. Alright, let's see. Get you in here. And now we need to make a few more shovels. Although it's looking like we may be out of flint. Nope. Okay. Perfect. I'm thinking 3 more. That may be too many. And maybe just enough. We shall see. We're also going to need some sticks and some logs. And I'm going to try to get a reed chest that has all of our building supplies. That way we can just bring a building chest over and have that be everything we need. I do also want to take a moment just while we are gathering supplies and kind of going through some of the motions to say thank you. This series is doing far better than I expected. The channel is growing far quicker than I expected, and the amount of support that I have received from everybody is far greater than I expected. This community, the Vintage Story community, is a wonderful community, and it's one that I'm very proud and very happy to be a part of. And I think that we are a great... Ooh, I did not mean to break this bush, but that's okay. I think we're great, and I think we're a very supportive community, and I'm really happy to, again, be a part of it. So thank you all very much. I also want to throw out there that I am continuing to adjust the audio. Between this episode and the last episode, there shouldn't be any significant differences, besides maybe me forgetting where to put the boom mic, because when I have a 3 monitor setup, and with my 3 monitors, the boom mic blocks one of them, so I have to put it back into position every time when I want to record. And so it may be in a slightly different position than last time. But besides that, all the volume should be the same. So this is what I'm looking to use for settings. I think the one change I am looking to make is I want to get a physical filter for the mic. I think that should smooth out some of the roughness and jarringness, jankiness that may be present. Whoa. He didn't come from that rift, did he? I hope not. So I'm just gathering some sticks here because we were incapable of making our shovels. So that, I don't think I explained that, but that's why we're going and we're collecting sticks. And we're just going to get rid of these like that. We have a few extra sticks, which is good. And now, let me just remind myself, where is my clay? We got fire clay here. I really don't want to use fire clay. I know it's an unstable area, and we're approaching nighttime. But why don't we head over here? Medium rift activity. Yeah, it's not ideal. Okay, I think we can finish out one shovel pretty safely. You can see there's some more grass that I missed. We also need to go on another hunt for flint, because I want to make a lot of spears for hunting those bears. I have a absolute certified way of hunting bears. It's called build a massive pillar and throw 16 spears at them. It works very, very well, I'm proud to say. Alright, so we are going to go finish up the shovel, and then I'm going to run back home because it's getting dark out. So I will see you all when we get back to the... Alright, so here we are in the house, and I actually... Oh yeah, I let that meat rot. I want to go outside the house here, because it is high time we set up the oil lamp. Now that I got rid of the spot where I was going to put the oil lamp, then we may as well set it up. What did I do with the bowl for it? Okay, I was like, wow. If I forgot the bowl, that would be something else. There we go, so that we have light for our home. For a little while at least. There's a couple things I want to do tonight, time permitting. The first is we have neglected our map here, so I think it's high time we take a look at the map and add a few odds and ends while we have some company grown at us in the background apparently. So there's quite a few ruins out in this area from our trip to the north. But I'll be entirely honest, I'm not easily able to make them out. This may be a ruin, that may be a ruin. I'll mark them as ruins, and I believe we looted both of them, so I'll mark them off in yellow. But I could be wrong on this. I think one grievance I have with this game is the drifters are just a little on the loud side. And I believe that's an option I can change. Let me look. No, it's not. Outside of adjusting, you know, the main game volume. One thing I do want to talk about as well is I just want to provide thanks for the amount of comments we've been receiving that have been providing tips and advice. There's some a couple great tips that I really want to communicate, relay, etc. Let me just... Whoa! Oh, that's an oak tree. Never mind. And one of which is that we can increase our render distance while we're exploring to increase how much of the map we're exploring. Just because of frame rate issues, I'm not sure how much I'll utilize it. I've been testing it out in a single player world, but I do think it is a great tip nonetheless. Okay, we got a trader over here, and that is a ruin if I've ever seen one. So again, just going through and marking off points of interest on our map. There we go. Anywhere else? How about we head down There we go. There's actually 2 ruins right there. Isn't that interesting? And there's another one right here. Wonderful. And that's a ruin as well. Oh, and there's a trader right here. I was gonna say, why don't we head south towards where we're looking at building a house? I've got a peat deposit right here. Nope, not rocks. It is peat. There's rocks everywhere. And I've got more peat right here as well. Those guys are really something out there, aren't they? Let me just go into settings and drop you down to 25. I'll increase the game volume again once we get away from them. Okay, so I got a couple of peat deposits, and I've got what I believe to be blue clay, but let me just confirm that. Yep, that is blue clay. So that's great. We'll have a clay deposit right over here. Is that the color of blue that I'm using? No, it's not. It is that one. Okay, perfect. Anything else of interest here? There's a fruit tree, which I am going back to this icon. And I am going to use white because I don't know what fruit tree that is. Let's see if we can find any of the ruins over here. Nothing jumping out at me at first glance. Go back to this area here. And that may be a fruit tree, but I'm honestly not sure. We do have those massive oak trees on the map. I definitely want to take advantage of that. That and that also looks like a fruit tree, but it's not the perfect plus shape that I'm used to. Okay, I think that's enough mapping for now. I just wanted to take care of that a little bit. I do want to spend a little bit of time doing some clay forming. Specifically, I've made a decision in my mind, and I usually like to spend, excuse me, I usually like to spend a lot of time in the Stone Age. I'm talking maybe till the end of June in game, and we very may still. But I want to be prepared for the Copper Age, and so I want to begin making some of these molds and getting them ready. Specifically, I think it'll be a while before we make lamellate armor, but I want to be prepared for making lamellate armor. We probably won't make it till bronze, but we may make it with copper. But for that... I guess I should have been paying more attention to my food, because it looks like we are out. I think what we can do is we can make some turnip stew at the very least. Hold this over. Let's look here. 4, there we go. I can make 1 full crock of turnip stew. So how about we get that started, and then we can go back to our clay forming while that cooks. And hopefully the 5 firewood is enough. I think it should be, but we shall see, I suppose. Alright, so that was an axe mode. Let's make a fall blade mold. And you may have noticed that I like to fill in the entirety of the second layer. I won't do it this time. It does waste more clay, but I just find it far easier to remove the shape rather than build around the shape. Although this is a pretty easy shape, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Alright, so let's get this one out of the way. Perfect. And I'm going to cook up this food, work on these molds, and I will see you all when it is time to despawn these guys. Okay. That is all the clay forming I'm gonna do for now. Man, are there a lot of drifters. And I don't really see us having many great opportunities to make a run for it. It's not even daytime yet, but there's just so many drifters by our house. And oh, I think the sun is coming out. So I do want to make the run for it, but I don't want to make it while they're all right here. I mean, look at them. And no, I was gonna say let's go now, but there he is. Yeah, it's definitely light enough out now. Come on, buddy, get out of the way. I wish we had like an escape hatch. It shouldn't be necessary, but there must be a rift again right on top of us. If we die, it's not the end of the world. Should we just make a run for it? Okay, yeah, didn't have anything to worry about. So we'll head right over here. Perfect. And that should be plenty far enough. Let's get game sound back up. 65 is the sweet spot. And let me actually, I have it at 65, 70, 25, and this is the default of often. If you'd like to see any of these settings tweaked or have any ideas, let me know. Oh, one other tip that I want to talk about is it was recommended that we do, in fact, build animal pits around our farms for food. I had mentioned earlier that I found it to be quite cheesy, and so it's not something that I wanted to do. However, the commenter mentioned that, well, humans at this time did make animal traps, and so trapping animals is something that you would be doing if this was real, I suppose. And so because it fits so nicely into the canon of the game, I was thinking, maybe on our next farm, we'll give that a try. So just something to think about. I haven't decided on it yet, but another easy source of meat I think would be really good, especially until we get sheep up and going and we have a more steady, stable supply. I am going to burn through another shovel or so, just going to collect clay, so I will see you when that is done. Alright, I do not want that extra blue clay, so we'll just toss it there for now. And I think these 6 stacks is the number I set out for earlier, and that is what I will stick to. I don't think we need any more blue clay than that. I do want to get these molds out of our inventory. We're just going to plop them over by our house. I think it would be smart if we fired them all, but I don't want to detract too far from our plans of housing. I mean, we would need to fire them all. Say I fired 3 of them, I would need 30 grass. I would need 24 sticks, and I would need 12 firewood. It's the sticks and the grass. Not that the grass is hard to come by, however, it just detracts time from what we're working on. And part of what we're working on is we need a lot of soil. Specifically, well, it doesn't really matter soil, but we're going to want to grab maybe 2.5 stacks of dirt, I think is what I'm going to shoot for. So I am going to get on this project, and again, I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, so dirt-wise, that should be plenty, leaving this beautiful pillar here. And we don't actually need this medium fertility soil, I don't think. I am also going to need sand, and actually there's plenty of sand right down here. I think we're going to need about a stack or so, maybe half a stack, but I'll grab a stack just to play it safe. So the house that we're building, I'll talk about it a little bit. It's going to be relatively small, not anything really to write home about, but it is a cute little build, and I think it is something that will last us through well into the late Copper Age and hopefully bring us into the fall without really needing to worry about our house or structure. You know, we'll be able to focus on everything else. Trying to find bees, establishing a secure supply of food because we are still scarce in that, and so on and so forth. And I'm actually building an old reliable of mine from way back in the days of Minecraft. Not that Minecraft days are gone, but it's an old build. And it is the Cozy Cottage. And I'm talking about the original Cozy Cottage as it was introduced by Paul Source Jr. in his Survive and Thrive series. It is my go-to house whenever I have to play Minecraft, and of course, it became my go-to house whenever I'm playing Vintage Story. And while I am trying to get away from it, I figured it would be fun to do it at least in one series. And so, here we are. I'm also grabbing just some of these stones because I do want path blocks. And there we go. I want 4 path blocks. Okay, you're flint. That's why you wouldn't let me pick you up. Yeah, and so you can look up Paul Source Jr. series if you want to spoil, but if you don't want to spoil, then hopefully this episode or the next you'll be able to take a look at the house in all its glory. Like I said, it's a cute little house. We are going to have to make some modifications to Vintage Story it up. So for example, the basement won't be secure unless we'll only have a tiny basement unless we have an entrance to it from the outside, just because the way the building is built. So things like that we'll have to account for. Okay, and so now what I want to do is I want to prepare our roofing. Let's get you set up here. We're going to need, I think it comes down to 42 of these. So that should be plenty. And now the rest of this I'm going to convert. I'm not going to convert all of it, I suppose. I'm going to convert a bit of it. And now we're going to start building our mud brick. And I don't remember how to build the mud brick, so let's go take a look. The light mud brick needs the sand. You can see we build it like this. So I'll put my low fertility soil in the bottom. And I'll put my sand here. My clay will go here. And our dry grass goes there. And that gives us 28 mud brick. And again, I want about a stack. I may need more, I may need a little less. Quite honestly, I'm just not that sure, so we're going to have to figure that one out together. Let's go see here, and that's the recipe for dark mud brick. I didn't know that. 24, 56, 60, okay. So I just need one more thing of the light mud brick, and that will bring us to a stack. So you go here, you go here, here, and here. Nope, I think it's 2 of these. Maybe it's 4 of these. Yes. There we go. Okay. 64 light mud brick. Very nice. Let's break you down all the way this time. Very cool. And you can see why I wanted to collect so much grass. Because this mud brick is expensive. It is very expensive, in fact, from a grass perspective. This should be a little on the dangerous side with the dark mud brick, but it should be okay. I am going to need some mud brick slabs, and that is, okay, they're made like this. So let's make some of these as well. And I need 12 of those, and now I can take the rest of this and turn it into dark mud brick. Okay. That is going to give us, hopefully, enough supply, but we may be a little short on the grass. We're also going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 24, 1, 2, 4. We need 48 packed dirt. Now I think all we're missing is the chest to carry all this in. Although I can consolidate these chests, maybe? I can put stone down, that's for sure. And then I don't need this extra clay anymore. Nope, no, 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 no. I'm trying to consolidate chests here. Oh, I had packed dirt already, so whoops on that. Okay, and now let's put all our building materials in here. And the packed dirt. There is that. I have sticks, which is good. And I think I have some logs. Perfect. Now, if I could remember how to build more of these fences, I'd be a very happy man. There we go. Some rough-hewn fences. And we'll grab this extra one as well. We'll get our rough-hewn fences in there. And then... was it this for doors? Yes, 2 crude doors. And I want to say that's it. I do believe that is just about it. And I was able to do it without needing to... Oh, of course, how could I forget my stone paths? And I have more dark mud brick. Okay. And I can put this over here. So the next part of this is going to be taking all of these things and running them over, I think, towards the water here. And I want to deposit all the things I want to move. Okay, I'm going to have to do this one at a time because that's too slow. I want to deposit all the things I want to move over by the water. That way we can make multiple boat trips back to back to back to back instead of making this entire trip 20 times. So I am going to make this trip back and forth maybe 5 or 6 times, depositing all our things along the shoreline. So I will see you all after we get done with that. Okay, there we have it. We have gathered our things. Oh, as you can tell, I'm going to take the screenshot for the episode here. Oh, wow, do you see that animation? Look, because our legs are dangling, they're actually like moving back and forth a little bit. That's really cool. So we have taken our things and moved them out to the waterfront. And now I think it is time that we actually um, bring our things where they need to go. And that is something else that is going to take quite a long time. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments because, as I mentioned earlier, I want to really show integrity and really show the vintage story experience for everything it is. But I don't want an episode to have 20 minutes of time lapse and have people be bored out of their minds sitting through it. Although vintage story includes a lot of that. So I want to leave it up to you as to whether or not you like to see time lapses for long projects like moving all our things across the water, or if you would rather just see it be cut out. And that would include time lapses, that would include resource gathering, that would include monotonous chiseling, although I have the workshop mod, so maybe less of that. Prospecting to an extent. Maybe not all of prospecting, as I think that's really where the integrity piece is the most important. I think it's hard to cheat in vintage story except for like prospecting and stuff like that. So just let me know. Again, I think the time lapse method is what I've been looking at initially. However, I certainly can see and understand how it might get a little monotonous and boring over time, especially on an episode like this, where our primary activity is moving things back and forth from one place to another. I think we're going to try to get one more thing over, and then we're going to sleep at the traders. We'll get the rest over, and then we'll call this episode a wrap. This episode is a bit longer than what we've been doing previously, and that is simply just because of the amount of stuff we are doing and the amount of stuff that we are doing that can be time-lapsed out. All of the rest of what we're doing now will likely get time-lapsed here once I stop talking for a minute. And as it does, and look into the beautiful sunset here. My apologies. I lost my train of thought, but episodes won't tend to be this long, although again, if you'd prefer a longer episode, let me know. I think we could easily make vintage story episodes about an hour long. However, that is not necessarily my goal if that is too long for people. So I'm shooting for 30 minutes to an hour. 45 I think is a good sweet spot, but we've been sticking much closer to 35, and that's been responding very well to the algorithm. I do really want next time to get in to the building of the house. That is the goal of next episode. It took us about an hour of real life time to do the preparations and work through this move, and I anticipate it'll take us a similar amount of time to actually build the house, although we may be able to get it up within one full in-game day. As we make our way over here, I'm not entirely confident that we will make it to the trader, but we will be able to make it to the other trader. That's over on this side. So we may sleep there, although with low rift activity, we may just be able to go through the night. Alright, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on getting these things moving back and forth, and I will see you all when that is done. Okay, we'll put our UI back on as we take a look at where we have been dropping our things off and find it to be inhabited by a bear. But we did find that one bear that drowned, so maybe we can lure this guy out. You can see, barely see, but our storage vessel is right over there. And here is a bear. It's a good thing he didn't maul us earlier, and it's a bad thing that this is where he's decided to hang out. Excuse me. Yes, hello. Would you like to come get us? Yes. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Okay. Yep, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Oof. Big tiring swim, huh? Why don't you take a break? Huh? You want to take a break? No, you want to go back to land? Don't go back to land. I'm right here. Yeah, that's right. This way. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. This is not how I expected our first bear fight to go. Oh, there he goes. He's taking damage. Okay, he got too close, he got too close. Got too close again. Wow, he has a lot of health. What a titanic showdown, huh? I mean, look at that. Come on, buddy. You can die fast. How did the other bear die if this is how slow they drown in water? Just bring him out further, I guess. That was way too close. We probably should be dead right here. Probably should be dead. Circle back. He's distracted by something. Trying to get to land, maybe? Go back to first person. Oh. You can just barely see it. And you may not have even been able to make it out on camera. But he went down. We are finally bearless. Okay. Let's make our way back over here. And there's wolves too. Okay, well, this is where I dropped off that storage vessel, right? Uh-oh. Maybe not. Apparently I don't know where I dropped off this storage vessel. Maybe it was further over, like this way. In the darkness, I honestly can't tell. Let's take a quick look. Oh no, it's right over there. So let's head this way. Inside this little cove, which I hope is safe. And get off like right here. And my storage vessel is not here. Wrong spot again. Okay, well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back to the raft, And I'm going to drop the storage vessel. Don't worry, I can't see either. We're going to drop the storage vessel. Apparently I need to drop my food. There we go. And we're going to mark this on the map to find when it turns daytime. Oh, you know what? I bet this is one. Storage vessel. Storage vessel. Perfect. And I pinned it. So now we actually know where we're going with the rest of these. I do think, unfortunately, though, just for a time perspective, this is going to have to be the end of this episode. So it will be next time that we're going to start off by finishing this transportation. I really do hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please continue to provide great tips and feedback in the comments. I've been reading all the comments, and I've really been enjoying just all the interaction with the community and the little community that we're building here on this channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, notification bell, whatever you'd like to do. Positive feedback, constructive feedback, etc. If you have any ideas for where you'd like to see this series go, let me know. I have a bunch of ideas and a bunch of things I want to do, but I'd love to do some of the things you'd like to do as well. This has been Finko11, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.